Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's discussion on Bhagavad Gita as it is. At the moment, we are covering the universal form, chapter 11, and we have covered up to verses 31 so far, and we shall try to cover from verses 32 to verse 40 today. So, yesterday we read that the universal form has been seen by Arjun, and Arjun was describing in his own words and how gigantic and how everything was so larger than life. Of course, Arjun had special sight granted by Lord, divine vision, to be able to look at the universal form of Lord. So we begin now, verse 32. Kalosmi lokshaya krit pravriddho lokan samahar tumih pravrittah ritepi tatvam na bhavishyanti sarve yeva sthitah pratyanikeshu yodhaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Time I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain." Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Verse 33. Tasmatva muttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samriddham mai vaite nihata purvamaiv nimatmatram bhavasavya sachin. Verse 34. Dronam cha bhishmam cha jaydratham cha karnam tatha nyapin napi yodha viran maya hatam stvam Hima Vyathishta Yuddhasva Jetasi Rane Sapatnan. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in the battle. Verse 35. Sanjaya vacha etat shrutva vachanam keshavasya kritanjalir vepamanah kiriti namaskritva bhuya evaha krishnam samadgadam bhita bhitah pranmaya. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, "O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjun offered obeisances with folded hands. Again and again, he fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Verse 36. Sthane rishikeshe tav prakritya jagat praharishyate nurajyate cha rakshansi bhitani disho dravanti sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha. Arjun said, "O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name. Thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer your respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done." Verse 37. Kasmachite na nameran mahatman gariyese brahmano pyadirkatre anantadevesh jagannivasa Tvamaksharam sadsattat param yat. O great one, greater than even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you, O limitless one? God of the gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestations. Verse 38. Tvamadi devah purushah puranasa Tvamasya vishwasya param nidhanam vetasi vedyam cha param cha dhama tvaya tatam vishwamanantarupa. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes, O limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Verse 39. Vayur yamo agnir varnurunaha sashankah Prajapatistvam prapita mahascha namo namastestu sahasrakritvaha punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again. Verse 40. Namaha purastathadat prishtataste namostu te sarvata eva sarva anantaviryamit vikramastvam sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides, O unbounded power. You are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. Now Arjun is going to listen to Bhagwan now, and Lord's instructions will be coming to Arjun. In verse 32, Bhagwan says, Time I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Now this is referring to that situation or the scenario there, that in the battlefield only the Pandavas will be left and others will be slain. Bhagwan is telling Arjun. Now we remember in verse 31, where we finished yesterday, Krishna was being asked by Arjun to explain to him his mission, that what is the mission of Bhagwan. Arjun was asking in verse 31. So now in verse 32, Bhagwan has started telling him that he is the time, he devours everything, and in this battlefield everyone else will be devoured by God apart from the Pandavas. And time is destruction, and all the manifestations, everything whatever is created has to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of the nature. That is the ultimate truth. In verse 33, in verse 33, Bhagwan is telling Arjun, therefore get up, prepare to fight and win glory, conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Sabyasachi, that is Arjun, can be but an instrument in the fight. So Bhagwan is telling Arjun, since the last verse, that though he was not in the favor of fight, but still it has to be done, because everything has already been decided by the Lord. And in his universal form, as we know yesterday, Lord showed Arjun that everything was getting into his mouth, everything was getting devoured by God, and so God was already telling him that all these are going to be finished by the time that is God. And Arjun is being told now to get up and get ready to fight and to win the glory which belongs duly to them, and conquer the enemies and get back their kingdom, resurrect it. And Bhagwan has told him that by his arrangement, by Lord's arrangement, Arjun is an instrument in the fight. Arjun is told to become Nimitta Matram, that is an instrument. So everything in the world is working according to the plan of the Lord, and we are all just an instrument in facilitating that arrangement which is already been set up by the Lord. So Arjun was told directly now by God to get up and fight. That will make the Lord happy. That will be a service or a transcendental service to Lord from Arjun. In verse 34, Lord is telling Arjun, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karan and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by Lord. Therefore, Lord saying to Arjun, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in the battle. So the plan has already been laid out and it's already been carried as well. But in this material situation, Lord is telling him that all he has to do is go and kill them in the battle, and the plan is already been revealed to Arjun by Lord's mercy to Arjun. Now he has to carry out the instructions of Lord, because Lord is saying to Arjun that get up and fight. Now in verses 35 onwards up to verse 46, we will hear Arjun's prayers. In verse 35, Sanjay speaks now. Sanjay is saying to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjun offered obeisances with folded hands again and again, and he fearfully starts speaking to Lord Krishna as follows. He is praying not as a friend but as a devotee. In verse 36, Arjun says, O master of the senses, that is Rishikesh. Rishikesh means master of senses. And who is the master of sense? It's of course only the Lord Krishna. He's addressing Lord Krishna as Rishikesh. Arjun says, O Rishikesh, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. So Arjun's prayers have started, and he understands everything as it is by the God's mercy, and he is completely got the knowledge, and he is rightly situated now in that. In his mind he understands, and he has seen as well the universal form. He knows that Krishna is the supreme. Krishna is the supreme Lord, and Lord is the object of worship of the devotees. He is the destroyer of the undesirables. He is the maintainer of the object of worship, maintainer of, and Lord is also the object of worship, and in the battlefield there were all sorts of demigods, siddhas, and many intelligent beings of higher planets also present, because the Lord was present there. So of course everybody was present there to offer their services to Lord, and Arjun can't stop praising Lord now, and because of the fear of the Lord, the demons, they will start running here and there, and they had already started. But the ones who are devotees, there is nothing for them to be afraid of, because the devotee understands that Lord knows that whatever he does is for the good of everyone. So a devotee has got nothing to fear. So Arjun is able to take in the instructions of Lord nicely now. In verse 37, Arjun is saying, O great one, greater than even Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you, O limitless one, God of the gods, refuge of the universe? You are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Now, Prabhupada is explaining to us that by offering his obeisances to Bhagwan, Arjun is actually telling us that Krishna is worshipable by everyone. He is all-pervading, he is the soul of every soul, and Arjun is addressing Krishna as Mahatma in verse 37, which means he is magnanimous and unlimited. Anant, he's being addressed as in line 3 of the verse 37, which means that there is nothing which is not covered by the influence and energy of the Supreme. Devesh means he is the controller of all the demigods, shelter of the whole universe, and all the living entities and powerful demigods and the perfect living entities, of course, they offer their obeisances, their homage to God, because there's no other being which is greater than the God. And Krishna is mentioning that Krishna is greater than Brahma because Brahma is created by Krishna, but Brahma is created by Krishna, then Brahma creates these universes and popularizes these planets. But who is the original creator? It is, of course, the Lord. Brahma comes from the navel of the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, as we know. We've been repeating this over and over. And Lord Shiva is the son of Brahma. So they are all working for the Lord. They are actually the children of the Lord as well. This material creation where we are situated, all of us, it is subject to destruction, and Lord is above this material creation as well. Lord is superior to all the conditioned souls, all of us. Lord is superior to all of us. Not only just in this material creation, but also in the whole of the cosmic creation. Lord is superior to everyone. He is the supreme. In verse 38, Arjuna is saying to Lord, you are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of the manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. So everything is resting on the Lord, supreme, on the supreme personality of Godhead. So everything, who is the ultimate shelter? Who is the ultimate rest of everything? It is the Lord. Nidhanam means that everything, even the Brahman effulgence, rests on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the knower of everything. Everything which is happening in this world and any knowledge with any kind of end, God is the ultimate end of any knowledge, of all knowledge, so to speak. And God is the known and God is the knowable. He is the object of knowledge because he is all pervading. He is everywhere. He is the cause of the spiritual world, and he is transcendental, and he is also the chief of the whole transcendental world. So Arjun is completely understanding everything, and he's paying his obeisances to Lord, and in his prayers he's saying these verses. In verse 39, Arjun is saying to Lord, you are the air and you are the supreme controller. You are the fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again, and yet again. Krishna is the great grandfather because he is the father of Brahma, the first living creature of the universe. Lord is addressed as air, and air is the most important representation of all the demigods. Air is everywhere, and air is also representation of Krishna, as Krishna has been telling us that I can't be in physical form everywhere, but whatever greatness you see in anything around you, for example, in this case, in air, Krishna is everywhere. So that is, the air is also representation of Krishna. Finally, in verse 40, the final verse for today, Krishna is being again offered obeisances by Arjun. He says to Arjun is saying, obeisances to you, obeisances to you, obeisances to Krishna from the front, from behind, from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of the limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. So this has been established by Arjun finally in last few verses, since he was told in the last chapter and then the beginning of this chapter by Krishna that Bhagavan says that I am pervading everywhere. So now Arjun is finally saying these in his prayers. Arjun is accepting that he is the master of all the kinds of powers, the opulences, the potency, powers, wealth, everything. It is said also in the Vishnu Puran 1.9.69, Yo yam tava gato deva samipam devata ganaha sa tvam eva jagat srishta yataha sarvagato bhavanu. Whoever comes before you, be he a demigod, is created by you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everything, whatever is there, whoever comes in front of Lord is actually created by the Lord himself. This is the final prayer of the day, which is verse 40, and we will continue because Arjun is still praying, offering his prayers to Lord. We will continue them from verse 41 to verse 45. This continues, and I think up to verse 47. Thank you for joining. Hariam Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.